And here's what's happening at Ewetopia Farms today. Fingers crossed we'll get enough hay this year to feed the sheep. Looks like they're all following. See, there's the loyal followers and there's the ones that just randomly join you. Shouldn't have to force them to play outside. Look at that door! Double door, wide open! A little lesson in behavioral psychology, which applies to sheep. Let's get started. So last night we had a torrential downpour, and if you saw yesterday's video, you'll have seen that Arnie was out there baling up the hay as fast as he could to get it in bale form, because in bale form the rain doesn't ruin it quite as much. He just came back with the first load right now. You can see it's pretty wet, and when it's wet it's really heavy. So we're not sure how these bales will do, but we're gonna try wrap them and see if it works out. However, last night he wasn't able to do the whole field, so we had to leave some of the hay laying flat in the field. It is probably ruined for sure. It will have to be raked and baled up anyway to be removed off the field, so he'll be doing that later. If he thinks that maybe it smells okay and dries enough today, he might try wrap it, but otherwise it will be more hay off to the bush to rot down. And making a bale of hay is actually quite expensive. There's the diesel fuel involved, there's the twine to wrap the bales, there's the hours and hours of labor in cutting it, raking it, baling it. So yeah, losing hay is a big loss, and it's always a shame when it's your best fields too, your alfalfa fields. Grass hay you could tolerate a little bit more, but fingers crossed we'll get enough hay this year to feed the sheep. Raven family is enjoying the day today. They probably are sick of the rain too. In the sky, I don't know if you can see them, there's 3 ravens flying around, and we got 2 sitting on the fence post back here. There's another one. So they're all still here. Because Arnie's using this front paddock as a turnaround today for him bringing in hay, I'm going to release everybody out the back door today. You guys want to go out the back door? We at least have a little bit of wind today, so they'll feel a lot better. Hi, sweetheart. You're lovely. Hi, you're lovely too. And you're really lovely on your box. And there he is doing his turnaround. That's what I meant. He uses this field to turn around so he can go back and get more hay. You guys like to go outside? Come on, we'll open the gate. We'll see if we can lure them out into the field. They haven't really discovered it yet. Come on, you guys. Follow the leader. This can sometimes work, because they got a big paddock out here. Good girls. You guys are doing a great job. And obviously it's time to crack open the box of Nice and Easy. Looks like they're all following. Come on, you're doing a great job. Keep coming. Oh, they're stopping. We'll let them catch up a bit. Come on, you guys. Hi. Here they come. Some of them anyway. Hi, you guys are the loyal followers. See, there's the loyal followers, and there's the ones that just randomly join you. We appreciate the random ones, but we truly love the loyal ones. There they go. And you see, now they got a nice runway. Look what's around the corner, you guys. Oh, these Suffolks are gonna run back. The fear of the unknown. These are the brave souls. Hopefully they'll eventually lure the rest out here, because there's good picking here now. With all this rain, the grass has been growing back, but it's actually been growing back kind of slowly because we actually don't have any sun. We haven't been having sun. So for things to grow, they need moisture and they need sun. They kind of have to go together. One doesn't work without the other. I might just quickly try chase the others out, see what happens. These fair weather creatures all lounging around indoors. It's kind of like your kids. You shouldn't have to force them to play outside. But nowadays, kids want everything served right up in front of them. Come on, let's go try the outdoors. You'll like it. Come on. Come on. Oh, the other ones came back, which doesn't help. They must have heard me come back. Come on, let's go outside. Let's go play. Come on. Go play. Come on. Come on. You guys out of there. Out from under the feeder. Come on. Go play. You can have lamb races. There's a breeze. Fresh hay. Couldn't get better feed than this out there right now. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. Get. Go on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, and little buggers. Do you know what they did? Ran around to the other side. I will try get them from the other side, but if they run back, I'm going to leave them to it, because I don't have the time or the energy to be chasing sheep around in the heat. And unfortunately, I don't know where Ben is. Ben would have been my good help for today. Go on outside. Look at that door. Double door, wide open. Outside, you guys. Don't go past the door. What is wrong with you? There's not even a puddle as an excuse. That's totally ridiculous. And you see, people like to say, your sheep should be outside. Why don't you let your sheep outside? We do. We just can't get them outside. Last time. Get out of here. You're embarrassing me now. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. What kind of sheep are you? Come on, out you get. Outside. Go on. Outside. Come on. Okay, what I really need is someone to stand in that gap over there so that they can't go to the other side. And there they go. I officially give up. It's a beautiful day out there. Breezy, green. Oh, a few went out. Maybe I can take Source. Go on. Why wouldn't they go out? It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Like, it's twice as humid in the barn here as it is out there. Totally nuts. I give up. Hay needs kicking in, but I'm not going to kick any hay in for the ones who are free to go outside. only for the ones that are locked indoors. How are you feeling today after your episode yesterday? Let's see what's happening. I'm using behavioral psychology on these girls. These ones have all hay in front of them now. These guys have nothing. They're conditioned that when we're in the feeders, they're going to get fed. But right now we're putting them on extinction, which means when they come to the feeder, they're not going to get the reward of food right now. I can see outside there's a few smart ones heading down the laneway. I'm going to leave these girls the whole day to figure out that all their food is outside today. Normally at this time of year, this barn should have only taken me 2 seconds to do. I would have cleaned the drinkers, knocked down the salt and minerals, which I do every day, and I would have opened the door and everyone would have run out. But you saw what happened. They're trying to get morsels, and they're screaming because they think they're hungry. Well, you're not hungry. You're not hungry enough or you'd be outside. So get to it, girls. No freeloaders today. These guys are all indoors too. These are the adults. Their gate is open. They're free to go out. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they've already been out and have come back in and are doing their chew their cud thing. These guys stay indoors because we're waiting to get them sheared and we don't want them mixed up. Plus we've got one sheared ewe that's in here that we took from the other group. You might have noticed the other day as they went out to pasture that she was limping. We got her in here. She's under the feeder right now. But we treated her for a scald. So she's just going to stay in here until she's all better. This way it's really easy to find her. And she's not walking and spreading it in the fields. And because it's dry in here, her hooves will clear up more quickly. I just finished doing the adult barn. They all got up because they were disturbed. But they don't want to go out. And as you know in our videos, it's every day. So a lot of times it could be just our daily routines and chores. And whenever an opportunity arises where there can be a learning experience, I will try to comment on it. And today is a perfect example of how we can use a little lesson in behavioral psychology, which applies to sheep, to dogs, to kids. Behavioral psychology applies to just about anything that has a behavioral pattern, which is about every living creature. So before we do that, Diva's come to say hello. Hi. And she's so polite, she just stands nicely beside me to be pet. So part of behavioral psychology would say that if that's the way you want your sheep to behave, she comes up to you, stands there, looks politely at you for a pet, you give her a pet as a reward. And you do that every time. So in the future, she will always come up to you politely for a pet, and you reward her. There are other sheep that come up to you, jump at you, bite at you, kick at you, butt at you for a pet. See, she's come up to me again. And here's Cammie too, nice and polite. If they come up to you demanding, what you do is like I did with those sheep with the hay, you put them on what's called extinction. Every time they come to you and demand attention or demand something that you do not want, a behavior that you do not like and do not want to continue, you ignore them. You don't punish them. Punishment has a low rate of success, but extinction actually has a high rate of success. But you have to be consistent. With all types of behavioral adjustments, consistency is the key. You gotta do it every time. If you don't do it every time, what they learn is that if I wait long enough or try hard enough, I will eventually get what I want, so I don't have to listen to this person. So, for example, if those, Arnie does it a lot with Ben. He thinks he's training Ben to sit, for example. And Ben will look at him and Arnie will say, sit. And sometimes Ben will sit right away, especially if he's got a dog biscuit in his hand. But other times, he'll just stand there. And so what Arnie does is he'll go, Ben, sit, 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 Ben, Ben, sit, sit, sit. And then Ben will finally sit and you'll say, see, he did it. But actually, what Ben has learned is that I can sit whenever I want because there's no time limit on it. I will get rewarded by attention by sitting whenever it's convenient for me. And as a result, sometimes he'll sit immediately and sometimes he won't. There's no consistency because his training consisted of no consistency. Likewise, if you have a child who has temper tantrums, you're at the grocery store. My son used to do it all the time. Right when you're in the middle of shopping, he'd start screaming for something. He didn't want to be there. He wanted a chocolate bar. Who knows what. At the terrible twos, it's a very common thing. And again, if you want it to stop quickly, you have to put it on extinction. Don't yell at them. Don't try to negotiate. Don't reward them. Like, don't give them the chocolate bar. Even scolding them or yelling them is actually a form of reward because you're actually giving them attention. And attention is what it's all about. So what you do is you put up with the embarrassment of your child walking through the grocery store screaming, and you ignore them. You ignore them the whole time, let him scream himself out. Could last for hours, but do not pay attention. Just go about your business as if you don't even notice him doing it. It's hard to do. But with some kids or animals or whatever you're training, it will take quite a few tries and you'll feel like giving up, but don't. Because if you give up, they've learned. I can wait do this for a really long time. Eventually I'm going to get my way. Never ever give up. So if the behavior on your animals fails, it's usually because of you or your kids or whatever. So, but other animals will catch on really quickly, or other kids. They'll learn that this doesn't work. If I want to get something, I got to try another method, a method that works. And if they use a method that works, be sure to reward them immediately. So they'll associate the bad behavior and the good behavior with their desired goal, whatever it is they're looking for, attention. It's usually all about attention. So that's a little lesson in behavioral psychology. And here comes a bunch of sheep that were at pasture. Some Dorsets, a little crew of them were out there. They're on their way back, but they learned and enjoyed it. Another thing that we do all the time with Max, because he can be very annoying when we're trying to move sheep, and to give him credit, Border Collie instinct says to block the sheep. But we rarely are using our dogs for blocking. Most times we're using them for moving sheep. Ben is extremely good at moving. He's caught on that we are so happy with him when he moves the sheep. And Ben he just loves nothing better than a reward, praise. He wants to be the good dog. It's all over his face, so he picked up on it very quickly. Max is a little more stubborn, and when he's out running sheep, usually we're working, we're not really training, we're in the middle of work. So if Max is blocking, you'll hear us. I know you hear it all the time. Max, 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 stop it. Max, come here. Max, Max. That one thing, another thing you don't do all the time is use their name as a command. Their name is not a command. It's their name. So if you want to say Max, and Max means come to me, that's fine. You teach that. But if you use it for come to me, stop that, come here, go away, whatever, he doesn't know. He's confused. Again, it's not the dog's fault, it's your fault. So with Max, it's our fault. We don't really have time to train our animals. We should, but we don't. We have no spare time whatsoever. So we usually do it on the fly as we're going, but Max is a problem because he is not trained yet, and we will work on it slowly but surely. But I just wanted to point that out, that we are far from perfect, even though I have a degree in behavioral psychology, because like I said, if you want to do training, it has to be consistent every time. And when we're working, rarely are things going consistently. So we're going slow today because of all the changes happening in the barns and stuff. I had planned on getting into town because I want to get those DNA samples sent off right away. And the barn cats are out of food, so I gotta pick them up some more cat food. So I gotta get going today. But in this barn, I'll just tell you what's happening in here. It's very loud. Shouldn't be this loud, because the hay feeder is full with fresh hay, like jam-packed full. He just rolled a bale out today. However, the issue here is that we're officially out of all our wrapped hay now. We've got this hay behind me that's wrapped, but this is fermenting right now and curing, so we can't use that hay. That has to wait for a few more weeks before we can start feeding it. So as of today, all the sheep in all the barns are on dry hay. This is the hay from last year. It's not the greatest hay, but it's clean. It's not moldy, it's not dusty, but it's different. It's dry, it doesn't smell as nice. And the sheep are protesting. They're like, why aren't you feeding me? A few of them you see are eating, but the noise is because of the hay. So these guys are locked in here because these are the ones we got to sort through next to see who's going to market and who's staying. The other two groups, the rams at the back and these ewes here, I've got to open the gate. Arnie hasn't got the gate open, so they'll be happy once they get out to graze. And over time they will figure out the dry hay. But animals are also creatures of habit, especially sheep, it seems. And change you have to do gradually. They do not like change. They don't do well with change. So it's little steps. You guys all want to go outside? You might like it out there. It's a really nice day today. Much nicer than in here. It's humid in here. And the reason it's humid in here, even though we have the curtains open and there's a breeze, is that there's bedding in here. And this bedding in the winter produces heat. It keeps them warm. But in the summer it does the same thing. There's heat rising from the floor, which adds to the humidity in the barn. So they are way better off to be outdoors. But yeah, these guys have an excuse. The door's locked right now. But the other sheep should be able to figure out that it's way nicer outside than inside. And this is little mister. He is the biggest problem on the farm right now. And behavioral psychology is not working on him at all. because he wants a bottle. And normally when we're weaning sheep, we put them on extinction. When it's time to wean, they are weaned and they get no bottle. And eventually, after a few days of crying, as you all see, they figure it out and they get on with it. But not little mister. When I weaned him off, he wouldn't eat hay. He wouldn't eat grain. I don't know if he goes to drink her water. I never see him there. He will nibble at grass a little bit. But I had to put him back on a bottle because if I didn't, he was going to die. And I hate to say it, but he probably is going to die because sheep cannot survive on milk. They have to start eating regular food to get their rumens functioning and stuff. And there's an expression, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And I've tried everything, and he will not eat. Like, I've never in my entire life of having sheep for, God, going on to 25 years now, have never seen it. And I don't know. So we're feeding him twice a day, which isn't very much. So he's very small compared to all the others. But he's not growing, of course. No, you're not having more. You've finished it, you see? So, yeah, there is always something weird that goes on. And there's our raven. He's come to this barn now. And see how hot it is out there? With the black feathers. I imagine they feel the heat quite a bit. I think they come in the barns for drinks and stuff. These sheep are all going out. These ones over here they use. They have to go around the corner, so they gotta give that a try. They've done it a few times, but they'll figure it out. It's just a longer walk for them to get to their paddock. But they'll go there. And the rams are out here. Come on, you guys. Hi there. Moses. Hi, buddy. How you doing? You had your DNA done yesterday, didn't you? You're a good boy about it. Yeah, you were. Oh my goodness, that was good. You see here, little mister has gone out grazing. But see how much smaller? He's the same age as these sheep. Now he is a triplet. However, he shouldn't be that much smaller. This is self-inflicted starvation, and this is how food matters. If you want your sheep to grow well, they have to have the optimum feed intake. If the mom's not feeding them properly or you're not, your sheep will be smaller. They may genetically be bigger, but feed plays a very big role in proper growth and development. So we're hoping that little mister can make it through the summer eating grass, and hopefully by the winter he'll figure out that dried grass, hay in the feeders is the same thing, and he'll get on with it and do okay, because in the winter there is no grass here. So he's got a few months to figure out how to eat, and that's all we can do for him. And as we look through the walls, you see the sheep have figured out the corner. They've gone around 1, 2, 3 corners, and they're heading into that far field. Doesn't take them long to figure it out. The other day we showed them how to do it, and the good thing about sheep is they're followers. It only takes one to figure it out, and then they all copy. Hi, you guys are Suffolk, so you're a little bit more fair weather. Yes. As you can see, we got another load of hay in the yard. As you can also see, this is not haying weather yet again. It started off bright and sunny today in the morning and all afternoon. And right now we've got guess what? Another risk of thunder showers. So Arnie's scrambling yet again to get this hay off the wagons and hopefully wrapped up before the downpour starts, which is due to commence in, they say, half an hour. So on that note, I'm going to call it a day. I think Arnie's tried to make some videos today, so I assume tomorrow there'll be a follow-up video on what is going on with all our hay. Anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe and tell your friends about us if you really like it. And until next time, bye for now.